This is Chris with Dive Zone Scuba for another technical diving tips, techniques, and trips video.
Hello divers, thanks for joining me today. We recently had a diver lose his big blue can light, and so today what we're going to be talking about is marking your scuba diving gear. If he had his can light marked, then maybe if somebody found it, then they might have been able to return it to him. Alright, so that's what we're going to talk about. The first time marking scuba gear came to my attention was on a dive boat, and there were two divers on board the boat, and they had the exact same set of fins, and a argument ensued over whose fins were who. And so that's one end of the spectrum of having your gear not marked. And on the other hand, I was involved or present in a situation where a diver had his name written in 2-inch tall letters on every single piece of dive gear he had. So hopefully we'll be able to find some kind of extreme between the two. Now, marking dive gear is one thing that a lot of divers intend on doing, but I think it is one of the most neglected processes that many divers actually do. Alright, so what we have in front of us are a number of different markers, and these markers actually serve different purposes. Let me arrange them in some kind of logical order here. Alright, so what we have is on this side here, we have some common Sharpie markers, and these are permanent markers. This is a regular Sharpie version marker, and then this is a Sharpie marker that's supposed to be an extreme marker, and then here is a Milwaukee marker that I've used in some of the past videos. So if you have something that has a light colored background, like a fin, something like that, you might be able to get away with one of these type markers. This is the same thing as the other Milwaukee, only it's got a much larger tip on it. So this is something you may be able to use to mark your gear, and it may also be used, for example, to make permanent markings in your wet notes. This is actually a laser printout that you can see here, but if you don't have access to waterproof paper and a laser printer, you can use one of these markers to write in your wet notes. In other situations, you may not be able to successfully use a marker to mark your gear, and so you have some other alternatives. One category of those alternatives is to have a paint stick. So these are two different paint sticks, and they basically have some ink in there, and you shake it, some kind of paint, and you shake it and it starts pumping it out, and you can hear the little ball rattling, the pump rattling, and you basically push this down and it pumps paint into the nib, and you can use this to write on different surfaces. So you have that option there. Another option to mark your gear is this. So this is, rather than liquid paint, what this is actually solid paint. And so you can use this as well. So I have a set of fins here, and I have one fin actually, and I don't know too many people that have these. This is an Aquatech fin that is manufactured by Aquatech, and they put the little rubber stamp for UDT. There's a bunch of other companies on there. And so I've really not encountered too many people at the same time that have a set of fins like these, but I'm going to use this fin just to illustrate the marking process. So these two pens are pretty much the same, different manufacturer. So I'm going to take this one, and I'm going to put some numbers on here on this fin, and then I'm going to get the other fin, and I'm going to put the paint stick on there, and I'm going to go diving with these and see which one is the more durable one. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to write a number on here. Okay, so this liquid paint is going to dry at some point, and I'm going to go diving with this and see how well this lasts. One of the problems is this is flexible rubber, and so there's the issue as to whether or not that is actually going to be able to stay on there well, or if it's going to actually come out. Alright, I have another fin here, the other fin, and what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to take the paint stick and I'm going to do pretty much the same thing, write my number on there, and again, I'll go diving this weekend and we'll see if how long this lasts. Okay, so we'll do this again. This is kind of like, I don't use lipstick, but this is kind of what I imagine lipstick is like. Okay, so we're going to use both of those this weekend and see which one lasts longer than the other. Okay, alright, so this works for things like fins, particularly if they're dark. Rubberized, some kind of paint for a rubberized surface, and again we'll see the durability of that. Now, let's talk about the can light. Alright, so I'll take this off so it's easier to see. So our diver lost his light, and if you follow good practices, you turn your light on before you go diving. It was actually during the day, but it was a low visibility type situation. If you have your light on, you have a better chance of getting it if you drop it, obviously, and that's what most people should do. The other thing is, if you have a lanyard around your wrist, then rather than just holding it by the Goodman handle, then again you have a better chance of retaining it. So what happened in this case is you could take a marker like this. You'd have to get a light colored Sharpie, which I don't think those work very well, but you could also take a paint marker like this and write it on there. What I chose to do in this case was I chose to put some identifying information on this with a label maker. And I'm not talking about the Dynamo label makers, but I'm talking about a more current generation of label makers. And this is one. I'm sure there are many different ones. This is actually a Brother label maker, and this connects via Bluetooth to my iPad, and I can actually basically print anything out that I want. So it uses a tape cartridge, and you can actually do a lot of things with the tape. The tape is so long, you actually do a lot of things with it. And so I've taken every single light that I've owned, and I have actually put my name on them so that I can't lose them. So this is definitely one application that you can use it for. Now, another thing that those label makers are good for that do not necessarily have to do with that sort of thing is you can use the tape to label other things. So, and one of those things is, for example, a decompression regulator, like this one here. So this is my O2 decompression regulator, and when I first received my technical training, we did not use the computer in the computer gas mode, changing the gases, and sometimes when you learn things a particular way, it's very difficult to convert to the correct way, not correct way, but current way of doing things. Okay, so one of the problems that I was constantly fighting against when I was a new technical diver was remembering to switch the gas on my Perdix. And so to help me not forget to do that, I actually, a while back, many years ago, actually took some tape like that and put it on my computer, or on my second stage here. I put it on my second stage here just as a reminder to do a gas switch on my computer, as well as doing the physical gas switch. So the label maker is more expensive than a paint marker, but it does create a much more aesthetic labeling process than a paint marker. So the label maker is useful for a variety of things, not only keeping your stuff with you in case you lose it or recovering it, but also for other things such as this. Okay, so that's it for this video. Thanks for watching.
This is Chris with Dive Zone Scuba. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe.